Hey everyone, okay, so we're here at Button Willow Raceway, Global Time Attack. We're racing Cameron's Performance Tesla Model 3. We've got our Mountain Pass Sports coilovers on the car, brake lines, suspension arms. We've even got track mode. So let's see how we're going to do here against some pretty heavy competition with some pretty high power vehicles. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how track mode works and talk a little bit about what it does to help us on the racetrack here. So first of all, to enable track mode, when the car's in park, press the brake to turn the drive inverter on. You open the screen and go to driving and press track mode. The warning comes up that just asks you to make sure you're okay with the car is going to allow more slip and a more aggressive driving behavior. So you kind of satisfy their lawyers by pressing here. And then you're good to go. One thing that we like to do is kind of bring up the track map, so it's like you're playing a video game. And now the main thing that track mode does to help you is the factory stability control is always running a sort of logic to keep the car and the driver as safe as possible. So that means if it detects too much or any little bit of understeer or oversteer, it's going to really shut the car down. But on the racetrack, especially when we're using grippier tires, we want to allow some slip. We want the car to move around, and if we start applying too much intervention early, you're going to lose a ton of lap time. And that's why we've created our defeat system to just turn all that stuff off. Now, what track mode is it's Tesla's tuning of the VDC and the stability control system to be as fast as possible. So these systems that normally get in our way are kind of now designed to help make the car faster. Then the second thing, and then something that I think is really, really valuable, is the car goes into instead of being a super efficient mode where it's always trying to save energy, it goes into a hyper cooling mode. So it's basically running the compressor at full speed all the time and trying to cool the water system for the battery and the drive inverters. And what this does, it means that when we're out there, instead of only being able to do one lap, we can now do 6 or 7 laps without having hardly any power reduction. And even if you do manage to heat soak the drive inverter or the battery, just doing one cool down lap at partial throttle, that heat pump system running at full bore brings the temperature down, and then you can go back out and do another lap with almost the exact same lap time and power as the original kind of straight out of the charger lap, which with a with a performance car without track mode, we saw a really, really big degradation where the car would start overheating and you couldn't really get it back until you let it sit. So that really means that now you can run this car hard at the track all day long, possibly, I'm sure, even longer than a long-range car would do. So kind of that's our main fix for our main complaint about the performance car before, and also what a lot of people were worried about with just thinking that Tesla can't go around the track more than one lap. So this car certainly is not just a one lap special now. You can do multiple laps within the same, I would say within the same consistency of a typical internal combustion car. So super impressive, and that's something that, you know, Model S, Model X, that just was not possible. So that just kind of goes to show you how the technology is improving and how the efficiency of these drive units allows them to run at a high power level for such an extended period of time, which is incredible when you consider how small and lightweight these motors are. You're usually comparing to the fastest lap, sure. But this one, like when you get it in proper sector times, you can find a purple lap and you can just know, okay, I'm going to do this lap and look at this corner.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So
breaking it down.
Every single lap, this is just really quickly shows you where you want to go.
Here at the Buttonwillow Supercharger, and the great thing about tracking a Model 3 is that it's just a normal Model 3. Plug in a supercharger, use those electrons to go race on the track. No other brand you can do that with. It's pretty exciting. And these MVP coilovers are amazing on the street. They transform the driving experience of the car. Not only is it a track monster, we didn't even change the settings. Cruise down here on Highway 5.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else is taking their race car out for lunch. So, pretty good balance of track and street enjoyment. So Cameron, how are you liking the car on the track?
The car is amazing on track. I mean,
you've driven a standard car, the performance car with stock suspension.
Standard car, performance car with stock suspension. This is just much more composed, gives the driver a lot more confidence. It's really comfortable over bumps. Just gives you that power to push and really understand your limits as a driver.
Sure.
And of course, in combination with track mode, it's just a perfect combination of predictable speed. You can do it lap after lap.
And now you can run multiple laps, and you can work on your driving and not be under pressure to just get it in one lap, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The FPV coilovers with track mode, just amazing.
Yeah, pretty fun stuff. So we've got a couple more sessions left today. We're going to try and get down into the 159s, maybe 158, maybe. Everything works out perfectly. And that should put us either in second or first place.
Some pretty high horsepower cars. I think there's a couple of tuned Subarus are pushing north of 500 horsepower. So
one thing to kind of know with the Tesla is that these cars are super capable at low speed tracks, because that's where the Tesla has the most power. Just like if you look at quarter mile times or like 30 to 90 mile an hour times, the Tesla kind of isn't as competitive as it is in 0 to 60. And the track that we're racing at now is a very, very high speed track. Almost every corner is north of 75, 80 miles an hour. And so we're actually kind of almost handicapping ourselves at this circuit. We could do time attack like at our local circuit in Canada. That's much lower speed, so we've got always a good chance of kind of showing the car's best capabilities. So the fact that we're competitive here is even more encouraging, because this is we're basically operating with 30 or 40% less power than the motor makes at lower speeds.
It's still an incredibly comfortable street car, which I don't think I can say for most of the competition out there.
Right.
We're going to drive back a couple hundred miles to San Francisco.
Yeah,
the car's going to ride great. We're not even going to change it. And the tires are street tires, same Michelin Sport S's that you get on a performance car out of the box. So this is not a crazy modded track car. This is a truly daily driven, normal Tesla Model 3. Performance model with just a few tweaks to make it better for tracking and street.
All right, let's go eat.
See?
Okay, so that was pretty good. I think that was a 150, low 159, which I believe puts us first place in class. Now, I'm technically not allowed to drive this car, but we've kind of done some setup work on it now. We've done a lot of learning, and Cameron's done a couple laps. We're gonna put him in now, and we're gonna see if he can do a 58 maybe even, and that'd be pretty close to the fastest all-wheel drive car in this class, since the rules have been changed to force you to run like a street tire. So we're pretty excited about how we're doing, and we're definitely showing that this car is pretty capable, even at a high-speed track like this, where the motor's normally running out of power and running way faster than it wants to be. It's the chassis is just that good, and it makes up for that. So really cool, and track mode is incredible. I mean, we used to only be able to do one lap in a performance car, and now, you know, just keep going. You can do one little cool down lap if you want, and the power is right back there. So yeah, definitely that cooling strategy is, to me, the main benefit of track mode. So yeah, stay tuned.
Group D, this is your 10-minute call to grid. Group D, this is your 10-minute call to grid. We're going back to back to back to catch up, all right? Group D gets grid. Great job, brother. Third place. You get on the short bus right there, sir. Second place, Enthusiast, all-wheel drive with a 2-minute .078. We have Mr. Cameron Rogers in that Tesla Model 3. This is second place in the Enthusiast all-wheel drive. Mr. Cameron Rogers with a 2-minute .078. He also gets a $100 check.
Whoa.
Check. Mike, check.
I need gas money.
Well, we already got up here. Put that down. In third
protested it.
That I don't know, my friend, but someone did it.
Spray him!
Alright. Do not open that, please. That is for second place, my friend. Can we get Mr. Chris Haynes in the Subaru and President WRX? You are now in third place.
Next year we got you guys. Can't find the future, man.
Someone protest an electric car, come on!
Come on! Woo! You got second!
All-wheel drive.
Well, that's Global Time Attack. It's over. We were the fastest. We were disqualified. What happened?
Oh, we kept finding time in the car, you know, like you said, steep learning curve, and you got down to a 1:59.1, which is the fastest in the class. We actually got protested though, taken off the podium, and
The middle of the podium.
the middle of the podium took us off. No EVs allowed, they say, after we've already done all this work, entered the event, driven through the event for 2
Rules
days.
say, what are I don't even know the exact rule, but it's something along the lines of
You said approved fuels.
not an approved
Approved fuel.
So because electricity is not listed as an approved fuel,
Yeah, this is a hybrid though, so it's an approved fuel for hybrid.
Right.
So it's like electrons are approved for some situations, but not other situations.
so the organizers talked to us after. They said, like, the guy that protested us, who ended up being the guy we displaced from first place, so this was literally the guy that couldn't be on the top step of the podium because we were winning. Well, basically the series said, look, it's just a loophole in the rule. We didn't intend for it to be this way, and they actually wanted us to be here. They were excited to have a Tesla here. It's just that some guy was not happy about it. So it kind of is pretty cool that we're, stirring the pot a bit here, and people are actually threatened by electric cars. We're not just putting around in last place. Like, we showed up, never been here before with this car, and basically
No EV's never ever been in a global time attack competition,
Right.
ever, and we're
So-
already getting protested for
Yeah.
being too competitive. So
Pretty
that's
cool.
pretty amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool. And the car was really good. We got a new splitter and lip spoiler on the car. Put the lip spoiler on for the last session, and it sounds like that was crazy fast.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice to get a bit more time with that. So there's still a bunch more here to go. I think, and in this track for us, neither of us felt like we really got a perfect lap in. So
Stay tuned.
I feel like there's more. And remember, this car is not built to the limit of these rules. This is a stock performance Model 3 with coilover, suspension arms, brake lines, and a lip spoiler and a trunk spoiler. The rules allow basically unlimited power for internal combustion engines. You are allowed a big wing. You're allowed a bunch of weight reduction. So again, the fact that we're getting protested for a car that's not even built for this class, it's really funny. So yeah, really cool. It was a good trip for us. Thanks for having us, Cameron, and looking forward to doing more.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, man. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I'm gonna wrap this up while we supercharge here at Kettleman City. It's really cool supercharger in the middle of California here. Between LA and San Francisco, it's got just more superchargers than I've ever seen before. It's a really cool place inside. So yeah, it's been an awesome event. We had a good time, and we're looking forward to our next event. So be sure to follow us on Instagram if you're not already, and subscribe to this video. I don't know what we're gonna do next, but I think it's gonna be pretty cool.